Welcome at Olive X, the most courageous platform for activists. Today we will analyze an article of Daily Sabah, a Turkish state-sponsored media organization. Here it is. Myth of Trump Netanyahu rift and ongoing Gaza starvation. And he gives three examples. Let's start with Iran. I quote, "One should not overlook the fact before going euphoric about the United States' abandonment of Israel, because Trump has stated many times that the US would bomb Iran if it does not enter into a deal with the United States. In this instance, both Israel and the US are on the same page. But what if it does enter a deal? What then? Then they are at the same page as well? No, because Netanyahu has said several times that a no deal is better than a bad deal. The issue of nuclear bombs is not the only issue. Not for Netanyahu. He wants a regime change in Iran. So that requires a larger bombing campaign than only destroying the nuclear reactor of Iran. So they're not on the same page there as well. Then we go to the second point, the Houthis. We know that the Houthis made a deal with America without including Israel. One cannot ignore the fact that the decision was more driven by security concerns for Saudi Arabia and not Israel, because Israel is enough to handle the Houthis. Disagreed by the Times of Israel. For Israel to have success, it can't go it alone, like it did in the neighboring Gaza and Lebanon. It will have to quietly join or lead a renewed aggressive coalitions against the Houthis. We need to pause, said Kritinovich, he's an analyst, sit with the Americans and wait for the Trump administration. Set as a strategic goal a fatal blow to the leadership and the stability of production. Work together with the countries of the region and certainly the Saudis. But Saudi Arabia is not interested in a war with Yemen at all, because they had a war in the past and they made a deal. It's way too risky for Saudi Arabia. The Sea of Aden is the only sea where Saudi Arabia can do their exports, the oil exports, all out war, and it will put the export of oil into danger. So the first point, that deal between Saudi Arabia and America was driven by security concerns for Saudi Arabia and has nothing to do with Israel. If that is the case, then why did the Trump administration start a war against the Houthis in the first place? They shouldn't have started them. They started because Israel put them under pressure. The prisoner of war, Idan Alexander. There were direct negotiations between Hamas and America, and that was really embarrassing for Israel. And what does he saying about that? The decision to go alone for the release of Eden was not to embarrass Netanyahu, but to fulfill Trump's dictum of America first. And that is very embarrassing for Netanyahu, because in that way you give Hamas some kind of legitimacy and you are not involved in it. So that's very embarrassing. So you can't deny that. Nobody can deny that. Concern in Israel over US administration shakeup of pro-Israel officials. Most famous is this woman, Morgan Ortagus. She will be replaced. Here, I will quote. Netanyahu has reportedly confided in closed-door discussion with his confidant, Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer, that he misjudged the direction the US was taking on Israel and the broader Middle East. Senior Israeli officials said Netanyahu did not hide his disappointment with Dermer. Dermer misread the situation. He was convinced the US would never turn against us, said one source. He failed to anticipate the shift in US policy toward Israel. Even now, Dermer still believes the US will remain supportive and maintain coordination. But the truth is, he has lost his bearings. While the Israeli newspapers are writing this, a Turkish media, and there are many of them, the Sabah, Daily Sabah is not the only one, says that there is no rift between the two. So we see that the Turkish media are more pro-Israel than Israeli media by themselves. The Jews control the media in the world. And they control it more abroad than in their own country. Many of these examples, which looks like it's pro-Palestinian, but actually it's not. So it's black propaganda. That's what it is. So like and subscribe. This news you will not hear everywhere.